Good evening, everybody. Hi. Hello there. This is Katasen, Brewmaster Monk, coming to you live from the Temple of Five Dawns on the Wandering Isle. This is Nahala. You're gonna see her every time I pop up. I usually pull her up when I'm about to go to sleep for the night, just for some company. It's too dangerous to take her along with us, though, so I dismiss her and just leave her in the inn. I imagine that she wanders around the Wandering Isle all day doing cat things. So, welcome to my order hall. And let me take a moment to introduce myself, my methods, and just a little bit about my overall style. Just kind of give you a feel for who I am. This is not going to be a very long video at all. I'm going to take you through stuff really quickly since this is a video and it can be paused and it can be rewound and etc. if you haven't gotten anything. I apologize for any weird sounds in my voice. I'm not really used to speaking for long periods of time. I actually am not very talkative at all, so it's really weird for me to be doing all of this. But here we go. I also apologize for any breathing you can hear. I'm really new at this video thing. I'm going to figure it out eventually. So, I use LVY. For anybody using the basic Blizzard user interface, anybody who is not familiar with the concept of add-ons and such, LVY is an add-on. I'm going to be talking about all of my add-ons. They are things that you use to enhance your gameplay. You can Google WoW add-ons for more information. They're a wonderful thing. I would probably die a lot more in this game without them, and I might actually die in real life without them. So, LVY, this is how I have my setup. I do have my micro bar, just because I like the utility of it. I haven't messed with a whole lot of other things. I've moved some things around. Most of my frames have been moved some way or another, mostly for my own personal visibility preferences. This is bar 5, bar 1, bar 2, and bar 3. For anybody who wants to take a look at their own LVY setup and set it up like mine. I messed around with the number of buttons, the buttons per row. You can mess with all of this stuff. I will do an LVY tutorial at some point on how to shift things around to set it up like mine, to get you on the way to setting up your own however you want it. But I kept it really simple. I like to keep it just really clean, really kind of out of my face. I have the global transparency set at 97%, so whenever I'm not in combat, whenever I don't have a target of any kind, or I'm casting or whatever, it just kind of disappears almost entirely. It's great. I also use Ice HUD. And I'll show you where those are. Shing! These, I don't really use them at all except for the breath bar. I don't actually get any utility out of those bars on the side, out of those 3 bars that you see there. Except as, they work very vitally as a platform for this. Mixed scrolling battle text. Incoming, heals and damage. Outgoing, heals and damage. Static, which is mostly my cooldowns or that are already major things that are happening in my world, and this is major things happening in the environment around me. Bam. I use my Ice HUD bars, you can kind of see them here, as a platform for the mixed text because I really like how it flows. Let's see, what else? I used to use recount. I really wish they would fix it up. I don't know what's been going on with it the past several months, but it's been acting really funky for me. I don't know if anybody else has been having that problem. Now I exclusively use SCADA. I use WowPro up here. I also use TomTom to complement that. That is not popping up right now. I don't know why. It goes away sometimes and doesn't tell me where it's going. I've messed with a lot of my LVY data texts here. You can find them in the data text section. If you also use LVY, I messed around with all the buttons and just kind of switched a whole bunch of things around to make the utility easier for me to cope with. What else? Yes. The one thing I do really put a lot of effort into, I'm the perfect person for lazy people to learn from, by the way, because I like to put a lot of minimal effort into what I do. Weak auras. It's easy to put a lot of effort in without putting a lot of effort in. I have all of this stuff. So, what are these things? I have my cooldowns over here, things that I don't have on my bar 5, and textures. The reason that I use the bar 5 instead of a bunch of weak auras with timers on them like most people do is because I just think that the LVY bar offers just a cleaner and easier to put together interface. Perfect for someone who's lazy and doesn't want to arrange buttons properly. The textures, though, are the most important part. The cooldowns, by the way, are my roll, my healing potion, my taunt, my fortifying brew since it's on a 7-minute base cooldown, and my spear hand strike. My textures. My rushing jade wind, keg smash, breath of fire, leg sweep, exploding keg, fortifying brew, and spear hand strike. I have all of those. The things I don't have textures for are my iron skin and purifying brews, because the charge system confuses me with textures. Likewise with the healing elixir, and I do not feel the need for a texture for detox just because I don't really use it that often. That may change in the future. If you'll notice, my bar 1 and my bar 5 are almost mirrors of each other. A couple of important differences. Bar 5 is just the abilities that I use the most often, the things that I really need to be right in my face while I'm fighting. My bar 1 is just, keybinds. So, what do I have keybound? My Spirit Moose, which is amazing, and I love him. My Exploding Keg is bound to Shift A. My Zen Pilgrimage, which takes me in my Order Hall, is Shift Z. Shift S is my Taunt. Shift C is my Archaeology Survey. Shift V is my Spear Hand Strike. Shift C, by the way, is like a free key. Right now I have it bound to Archaeology. X is Roll. 1 Tiger Palm, 2 Keg Smash, 3 Jade Wind, 4 Blackout Strike, 5 Breath of Fire, 6 Iron Skin Brew, 7 is my Rock Feather Kite, which has saved my life more times than I would care to admit, because I am really bad at spatial awareness in this game, and I fall off of things a lot. My Q is my Fortifying Brew, my E is my Leg Sweep, R is Purifying Brew, T is Expel Harm, which draws in my healing spheres and, out to enemies. I also have my Crackling Jade Lightning, keybound to one of the bracket keys, the left bracket key. The right bracket key is free for right now. My Paralysis is on the... what do you call that? Do you call it a backslash or a forward slash? It's a backslash, right? One of the slash keys that is not the one that you use to type in the general saying things to people interface. My Healing Elixir is on the semicolon key. Detox is on the apostrophe. Effuse is on the regular / key. My Spirit Moose is on the equal sign. I love him. My Healing Potion is on the period key. Oh, and I have a Wind Rider for when I go to Orgrimmar on the comma key. I also have Bandages, Cooking, Archaeology, the Window, and Fishing, which I have bound to Shift F. So, there we go, that is my basic setup. Anything else? I don't think so. I always keep my objectives window up simply because I habitually do world quests, and it really annoys me to not be able to see the objective of what I'm doing along with everything else. I have, as you can see, a bunch of quests that are actually just untracked instead of right here in my quest log. Or right here in my objective window, I'm sorry. And that's about it. Yeah. Oh, yes. Talents and Order Hall talents. Talents. I am a brewmaster, naturally. I have Eye of the Tiger, currently. Celerity. Gift of the Mists, for survivability increase. Black Ox Brew. I found that I was never using it. That might change in the future. I might find a way to utilize that more. I'd love to. Certainly when I start raiding, I might find a way to use that. But for right now, I have Gift of the Mists, Leg Sweep, Healing Elixir, Rushing Jade Wind, and Blackout Combo for utility's sake, because Blackout Combo, you're going to see when I'm in combat, I use it almost every other ability, which makes the Blackout Combo talent a great utility talent for me, and a great DPS increase too. And my Order Hall talents so far. I have not gotten this level 4 talent yet. I'm still debating on that. But right now I have Living Quarters, which increases the number of troops that I can recruit, which is awesome, because I often end up sending all of them out. As opposed to Pilgrimage, which brings back champion equipment. And right now I have Enlightenment, which promotes some of my troops occasionally 1 rank, making them more powerful and, just kind of boosting my success chance on missions. The other one is Brewhouse, which grants me access to the bubbling keg. Now, brewmasters in particular, your hidden appearance for your artifact is found by tapping the bubbling keg once a day. It has a chance to drop off of the keg. So bear that in mind when choosing a talent. I don't particularly care about the hidden appearance because I'm not an appearance whore. You can actually see on my toon right now I have the basic appearance, even though I've unlocked even though I've unlocked 3 of the first 4 appearances. I think I've unlocked 3. So, if you want that hidden appearance, you are going to have to take this talent. And I have Auspicious Fortune, which is I get bonus or epic upgrades from quest rewards, which is really, really nice for me, and I think it offers a better overall utility than the Lucky Envelope, which just increases my success chance on my first mission each day, which really, it gives me a 1 mission utility. So, yeah, I think that this time that's it, I promise. I'm going away now. I will see you next time, guys, and good night.